side of the field and return it to its owner's hand. It's basically like a slightly worse penguin soldier, but still you don't need to pay tribute, you can just play it. And let's say the enemy has a 2 tribute monster, and you can just return it. That's decent value, so this is a decent card. And I have Crimson Ninja. Flip. Select one trap card on the field and destroy it. If the selected card is set, pick it up and see the card. If it is a trap card, it's destroyed. If it's a spell card, return it. So you have to choose randomly a card, and if you get lucky and it's a trap card, then it gets destroyed, and if it's a spell, it gets put back, but at least you know what spell it is, so this has value either way. Okay, this one I just put in because it's one of the best, like just base stat creatures in the early Yu-Gi-Oh! It has 1800 attack and it's 4 stars, so this was just a classic played card which beat most other 4-star cards. Then we got the Magician of Faith. This is an absolute, like back then, super strong card, probably still is. Also flip monster, and when you flip it, you can select one magic card from your graveyard and return it. You know, like there were so strong magic cards, Monster Reborn, Raigeki, a lot of stuff you can pick up with this. This is a very strong card. Then we got Witch of the Black Forest. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, select one monster with defense of 1500 or less from your deck. So this is always good to draw like a Summon Skull or stuff like this. This was just a very good draw card, or I think also for Exodia pieces this was also used. Just in general, very good card. Gravekeeper Scar. Flip. Select one monster card on your opponent's side of the field and return it to its owner's hand. So it's basically the exact same. Yeah, it's the same, just a way better monster. Almost 2k defense and a good effect. Pretty good monster. Yeah, this one I added because it's again a 4-star and it's 2000 defense, but also 1300 attack, so this is very crazy. Most of those have like 800 and 2000, but this one has a 500 attack more, and it's dragon type, which was strong because there were a lot of dragon focused cards. Yeah, this is again the same reason, same 1300, 2000. This one even has silver. Oh, the Wall of Illusions. Very cancer spell. The monster that attacks this monster gets sent back to the enemy's hand. So this can have different benefits, but the best one is, let's say, your enemy tributes 2 monsters to get a white dragon. Then he attacks this. It gets destroyed, but he has to pick the dragon up again, meaning you pretty much destroyed special summon one dark monster with an attack of 1500 or less. So these monsters are always good because you lose a monster, but you gain another one instantly, and sometimes there are monsters that maybe have a lot of defense, but not a lot of attack, and like this you can just randomly summon a very strong monster. So it's always good to have these cards that trade like one for one. I don't know how to name. Mask of Darkness. Select one trap card from your graveyard and return it to your hand. So this is like Magician of Fate, but with trap cards. I don't think I have to explain this one. One of the most broken cards in the game, at least back then. Flip him and it just destroys any monster on the field, regardless of position. So this was always when someone put a card like this and you blindly have to attack it, and then it's a man-eater bug. Oh my god, that feeling is horrible. Trapmaster. Yeah, this is again the same as the Crimson Ninja, basically. Oh, look how many I have. Okay, this one I don't remember. Oh, this can be cancer. So when you flip this, it destroys all open 4-star monsters, which can be insane. Like, imagine someone has like 2 genies out, and next round he wants to tribute them for something big, and you just flip this and it destroys all 4-star monsters. That's pretty strong. The Ladybug. Then we have Yomi Ship. When this card is sent to the graveyard as a result of battle, destroy the monster that destroyed this monster. Okay, so this is pretty much a man-eater bug again, only that it has to be destroyed in order of the effect to work. Yeah, so this one we had in the last video is just a good base stat and also an effect. Oh, now we have the Thunder Drake. So this is a fusion monster. It's pretty much the best fusion monster. No, this is material for fusion monster, and pretty much the best one that existed early, because this guy has a special effect which allows you to lay this on the graveyard, but take 2 of these on your hand. So if you had 3 of them in your deck, you could do this trick. So you have 2 Thunder Drakes in your hand, and then you can fusion the dragon. So that's why I put this in, because it was the best fusion monster, and also like the best, most efficient way of getting it. Okay, next one is this, just again 2k HP, that's why I chose it. Good base stats. Opticlops also pretty good base stats. 1,800 and 1,700. Guys, one of the most broken cards in the entire game, and I'm pretty sure it's also good, but only for one turn. That's not crazy, but what's crazy about this card is you could select the enemy monster and then tribute it for one of your cards, and like that you destroy this monster, got your own monster, and got maximum value out of this card. And that's why this was super broken, and I think also banned. You could do so much stuff, and I think you could even attack with it, and then because there's after attack phase, I think there's standby phase too. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you can still summon monsters in that phase. And then you attack with it, and then sacrifice it. And yeah. Next one. Absolute classic. Might be the most played, most efficient, just most overall best spell. Destroy one magic or trap card. Very easy. Perfect to target cancer cards and just blow them away. Like, let's say, I don't know, let's say you're afraid your enemy has Mirror Force, and then you just blindly snipe the trap card to make sure, or maybe your enemy has a field card and you want to surprise him, and once he attacks you play this, destroy his field card, and suddenly his attack isn't enough anymore. This card is so OP, you can play it in at any moment, and anywhere, everywhere when you want. Like, this card is so good. Fissure. Pretty simple. Let's see if we have it in English. Yes. Destroy one face-up monster with the lowest attack on your opponent's side of the field. So yeah, you might think, oh, only the one with the lowest attack, but if they only have one and the one has 3000 attack, then you destroy this one, and even if not, they still lose a monster, which is always good in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because in Yu-Gi-Oh! It's very important to keep control of the board, because once they get too many monsters and you can't handle anything anymore, you just get snowballed to death. Then we got the Dark Hole. Super broken card, I think also banned. It just destroys every monster on the field, even your own. But let's say if you are in one of the situations I was talking about, let's say the enemy has 4 monsters and you have none, then you can just play it and you suffer 0 and he loses 4 monsters. And that's why this was banned, because it was just too strong. Soul Exchange. Let me check. Select one monster on your opponent's side of the field. When you offer your monster as tribute, offer the selected monster in place of one of your monsters. So with this spell you can use an enemy monster as tribute. It's a bit like Change of Heart, just that you cannot attack with the monster, so Change of Heart is more OP than this. Nobleman of Crossout. Destroy one face down monster and remove it from play. Oh yeah. So this just destroys every face down monster, and not only destroys, it gets removed from play. So you can't even bring it back with Monster Reborn, for example. Very strong card, but the only downside is it can also be an upside, but if the destroyed monster is an effect monster, let's say a Man-Eater bug, then both players have to go through their deck and remove every Man-Eater bug in the game. So if you're unlucky, you destroy one of your own cards too. super strong, destroy one monster. This is one of those I'm desperate cards and I have to do something. And because you skip one draw, which is very a negative effect, but sometimes destroying one key monster is worth playing this spell. Tribute to the Doomed, super OP. I don't know if this maybe was banned also, but you discard one card from your hand and destroy any monster of your enemy. So basically the same as this, just that you don't draw one card less. You have to drop one card, which isn't even that bad because, for example, let's say you have a super strong monster, right? Blue Eyes White Dragon, and you also have Monster Reborn on your hand, if it's allowed to play. Then you can just drop the White Dragon with this destroy enemy monster, use Monster Reborn, rebirth your dragon, and just like that you made the craziest play ever. Very strong card. Oh, one of my absolute favorites. Such a cancer card. This is such a cancer card. So, this is equipment spell basically. Oh wait, no. No, it's a spell, a continuous spell, so you activate it and it stays open until it gets destroyed by something. And each time an enemy attacks with a monster, he has to remove the top card of his deck. Like, how crazy is this, guys? This is so cancer. Like, if he has 3 monsters, he has to throw away 3 cards. You can completely fuck decks up with this strategy. You can destroy their key cards. You know how good it felt when you use this and he attacks twice and his destroyed cards are like Mirror Force and Jinzo or something. Oh my god, this is such a cancer card. Everyone hated playing against this. And you could do other combinations like with Robin, Goblin and stuff. You could really make the enemy not be able to draw any cards and lose them all. Graveyard Servant or something. Premature Burial. This is pretty much like Monster Reborn. Just that you have to offer 800 life points and the monster you summoned, let's say this is the monster, it's bound to discard. So you can destroy this monster by attacking it or by destroying this card, and then this also gets destroyed. It's a slightly worse Monster Reborn, but still a good alternative. Okay, next card is Riryoku Field. Negate the activation of a spell card that designates one monster on the field as a target and destroy the spell card. So this is not the best trap, but it can be good. Like, for example, yeah, I don't know, like just any. Wait, we have one of the cards which this. Let's say I do this to an end to one of your monsters, then you can use this and negate the effect. So yeah, it's a slightly worse version of the next card. Because it's only magic cards that designate one monster. But the next card, Magic Jammer, this is really, really strong. Maybe this is even played nowadays still. So this is a trap card which discard one card from your hand to the graveyard Raigeki or Monster Reborn or some game-changing magic spell, you have to pay with a card, but there are many times in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where there's one card on your hand you don't need anyway, and sometimes it's not even that bad. It can suck to have to drop one, but this card was very, very strong. Very strong. Unfortunately, I have only one. Then we have Cursed Seal of the Forbidden Spell. Discard one spell card from your hand to negate the activation and the effect of a spell card and destroy it. Your opponent cannot activate spell cards of the same name, including the spell card that is destroyed by this card's effect. Okay, so this is even better than this if I understand it correctly. So again, for Magic Jammer you can discard any card. For this you have to discard a spell card, but it does the same. You deny the activation of a spell card, but also any other copy of that spell is also negated. So this is, for example, very good against Mystical Space Typhoon, because this card, at least with no limits, you usually had 3 of them in your deck. And let's say I negate the first, I will refer to it as MST, the first Mystical Space Typhoon MST, and I block it with this. You cannot use the other 2s, and it's a very strong card. This again, okay, Trap Hole, I mean, one of the most iconic cards back then, just a very simple, solid concept, but always annoying, always could have huge value. So it's a trap card, and if the attack of a monster summoned by your opponent, excluding special summon, is 1000 points or more, the monster is destroyed. So this card is just OP for the standards back then. It was so OP. You put it hidden, and you can play it sneakily. You can let the enemy summon a monster, don't activate. Summon another monster, don't activate. Then he's like, maybe he has a trap hole, and tributes the 2 monsters for a very strong one, and then you pop the trap hole. Very effective, but also to just control the board in general. Like even for a 1800 4-star monster, it can be worth it if you don't have any answer. Yeah, this is such a good trap. Like legit, I think when you ask me to think of a trap card, of an iconic trap card, it's either this or maybe Mirror Force. So we got another trap hole, but this is called Bottomless Trap Hole. When your opponent normal summons, flip summons, or special summons a monster with an attack of 1500 or more, the monster is destroyed and removed from play. So this is even stronger than normal trap hole, because you can trap hole monsters that have been played already, and you can also trap hole special summons, and also the monster is removed forever. So this is a very strong card. It also has shiny writing. Very, very strong card. Then we have Mishisure. I have to read this effect. Oh, that's in German. Oh, also pretty simple. You can only activate this card when a monster when a monster from the field is put on the graveyard. Destroy one monster on the field. So this is actually pretty crazy, because you can have it as a trap, then you destroy target is face down, flip it. Oh, so it's literally this, but instead of traps, it's magic cards, but literally the same effect. Then we have the OG of OGs, the best one tribute monster back then, the only one with 6 stars and 2500 attack, ultra strong card. You could pick it up with Witch of the Black Forest. Oh, coincidentally I hit it perfect. Like this combo was so strong. Yeah, just the 2500 is crazy. And the ambulance war continues. So I was talking about this, and yeah, we basically enough said. It's just the strongest one tribute monster back then, like raw stats wise, and also so iconic. Like this one, everyone thought this is a cool monster, right? Then we have Dark Blade, another one, 4-star with pretty good stats. There we have the Armed Ninja again. Then I only have this Cyber Jar, but there's another Cyber Jar which is ultra broken, and I think this was also a bad card. But there's also this Transmorphing Jar. Sadly I have no English version, so I have to translate this whole ass book. Flip. Flip effect. Put all monsters on the field, so our own ones too, on the top of the deck of its owner, and then shuffle the deck. Both players draw. Well, it just says draw the upper cards from their decks. Oh, you put all monsters on the top of the deck, and then both players draw cards until they drew the same amount of monsters as they had to remove from the field. And all monsters that are 4 stars or less are automatically summoned as a special summoning. Oh my god, this is very strong. Like let's say for example you flip a man-eater bug, right? You use the effect destroy one monster, then you use this again. Do all the effects I just told you about, because all the monsters are being special summoned like this. And like this you just get another man-eater bug, you know. This is crazy good. This is but the big downside of this card is it can be very good for the enemy too, or even better. So this is a dangerous card. And also you have to show the enemy your cards, so this can also be bad. Then we got Dark Geroid, also silver writing. When this monster is normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned, select one face-up monster on the field and decrease its attack by 800 points. This effect lasts until the selected card is destroyed or removed from the field. Yeah, this is a decent card. Like, let's say he attacks you with 1800 monster, you flip this, suddenly there's only 1000 and he takes 500 damage. Or yeah, this can be very decent, especially for you always have to remember, back then there weren't like these ultra OP cards. Cards were very simple but fun, and this was also like you could definitely get value from this. And like let's say, I don't know if you guys ever played like tournaments or stuff like this, but where I lived there were like these Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments, and it worked like times per monster. A player is allowed an extra normal summon or set. This may sound bad, but this is actually so crazy. I remember back then when I was a kid, I always thought every card that costs me life points is bad, you know. That's how you think back then. And only stuff that does damage is good. Just like with the Pokemon games, you know what I'm supposed to learn an attack that doesn't do damage. Nah, thanks, I'm good. So 500 life points you have to offer, but then you can summon as many monsters as you want. And I mean, this can be a game ender, especially in maybe a rush deck or something, or you see the enemy has no trap cards or nothing. You just flip this, summon the 3 monster and rush him down. This is very good. Another Crimson Ninja. Then we got Stimpack. Don't know what this does. A monster that is equipped with this card increases its attack by 700 points. In each of your standby phases, the attack decreases for 200 points. Okay, so this is not that good. It's okay. One of your monster gets 700 attack, but then loses 200 attacks in each round. So you have 3 rounds of value, and after this, it's a D value basically. So this is not that good. D-Spell, very simple. Destroys 1 magic card on the field. If this card's target is face down, flip it face up. Yeah, it's basically like the Armed Ninja, just as a spell card. So you can destroy 1 spell card, and if it's not, you put it back, but at least you saw it. But this is 100% something that wouldn't be played nowadays. Yeah, that's almost the same as this, but with trap cards. But one difference is it only works on already open lying cards. So you can't target face down traps. So this is also just decent and not really good. Bait Doll, no clue what that does. Force the activation of 1 face down trap card. If the timing of the activation of the trap card is incorrect, negate the effect and destroy it. If it's not a trap card, it is returned to the original position. After this card is activated, it is placed into the deck, not the graveyard. The deck is then shuffled. Okay, so this is actually pretty good, right? So let's say you have 1 face down card, and I'm scared it could be a trap hole. Then and my field is still empty. Then I could use this. Discover your trap hole. Your trap hole gets deactivated, but there's no monster, or at least I think trap hole only works when you summon. Yeah, so I don't even have to have an empty field. I could have 2 monsters. Do this, activate your trap hole, which gets negated, and I also get this card back. So this one could be very, very strong back then. Or Mirror of Force, but Mirror of Force would have destroyed my entire board because the effect still gets triggered. So it's only good for cards that, yeah, have a specific, like, I don't know, maybe Magical Cylinders. I don't know if you guys know that card. Or Swap Damage. I don't know how this is called. Or was that Magical Cylinders? Maybe. Yeah. Then we have Maboku. Oh, so if you activate this for the entire turn, enemy monsters cannot do any damage. Yeah, pretty simple, pretty effective, pretty good. Time Seal. Oh, if you activate this, your enemy skips his next draw phase. This is okay. It's a bit similar is special summoned by removing 2 water monsters in your graveyard from play. When this card destroys an opponent's monster as a result of battle, your opponent skips it. Oh, so basically the same again. And this is also cool because you can special summon it without tribute or anything. And when this guy destroys a monster, you can draw once more the Skull Knight. I don't summon Skull, I think is the name. Then we have Black Pendant. This is an equipment card. Oh man, I'm so sorry. The war never ends. I had to make another break. So Black Pendant, this is an equipment card. A monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 500 points. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, inflict 500 points of direct damage to your opponent's life points. So also pretty good card. You get 500 attack, and when this is destroyed, the enemy loses 500 life points. I actually won games with this card because in Yu-Gi-Oh! You oftentimes end up with like 200, 300, 400 life points, and then this can really be a game changer. Okay, next card is also one of the cards I would have never ever put in old decks, and I still do not really recommend putting this, but this was one of those cards I told you earlier about when you build a booster pack deck. This card was actually pretty decent because 4 stars and 2200 attack. But now comes when you want to attack with this monster, you have to flip a coin. When you correctly predict if it's head or tails, you can attack normally. If you predict wrong, you lose half your life points and then attack. So this can be a huge prize. But then again, if you're low on life points anyway, like you say you're on 400, then suddenly using 200 doesn't even make that much of a difference. And just having a 2200 monster out is also good. You don't even have to attack with it. It can be a good defender anyway. So this was a decent card, but definitely nothing you would choose as your first choice, because the cost still is too high. Malevolent Nuzzler. A monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 700 points. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can pay 500 life points to place it on top. So yeah, this is a worse unicorn horn. 700 damage, and you can pay life points to put it back on top. Oh, I think this was strong. Equipio Drakmord. A monster equipped with this card cannot attack. Destroys the equipped monster at the end of the second turn of the player controlling the monster. At that time, this card is manage to summon a blue Ice White dragon with 3000 attack. Then you play the Megamorph and suddenly has 6000 attack. This card could be such a game changer, but it can relatively fast fuck you up too. So at least back then I remember when I played this was best for smaller monsters. Like let's say we both have a 1800 monster, right? But you have more life points, then I put this on a 1800 monster, kill yours, and then ideally maybe I just tribute my monster for a better one, so I had value from this, from the monster, and I have a new one. So this was an okay card, but not the best. Time Seal, we already had this. Jar of Greed is a bit worse version of maybe the most broken spell card in Yu-Gi-Oh! Pot of Greed. Jar of Greed is trap card, and when you activate it, you draw a card. Now, I back then did not understand the value of drawing cards, but later on I understood how huge the value is. Like card draw is everything, and it's not only about drawing the card, it's about thinning out your deck. First of all, I think every deck needed to have 40 cards, and that means if you had a deck like, for example, Exodia, you really have to dig through everything to get your cards. But cards like Jar of Greed are perfect for this, because the jar gives you one card to reach the 40 limit, and it also lets you draw another, so you basically turn your deck into a 38 card deck. And it's the same with Pot of Greed. You play Pot of Greed and you draw 2 cards, that's 3 cards gone, and 3 cards closer to your main goal. So yeah, a slightly worse version of Pot of Greed. Oh, there we have the Axe of Despair I was talking about earlier. So this is crazy. A monster equipped with this card increases its attack by 1000 points. When this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, if you offer one monster of your side of the field as tribute, this card returns to the top of the deck. I don't think I have to say much. 1000 attack just like that is absolutely crazy, and paired with cards like Hayabusa Warrior, or I mean, this can turn this guy into a 3500 attack monster, which literally beat every other monster back then. Absolutely crazy card, and you can get it back by offering this again. Then we get Chain Disappearance. I don't remember this one. You can only activate this card when a monster with an attack of 1000 or less is normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned. Remove the monster from play, and your opponent removes all monsters of the same name in his hand deck from play. His deck is then shuffled. Yeah, so it has a stronger effect than Trap Hole, because it can remove every monster he has, and also works when monsters are flip summoned. So this is a good card for cards like Man-Eater Bug or Penguin Soldier, but increase your life points by 1,000 points. You can also take cards of the same name from your deck and special summon them on the field. In face down defense position, the deck is then shuffled. So this is again one of those thin out cards and also just very effective in general. You get one monster, maybe you even destroy something with it, or it gets destroyed. Anyway, you get 1,000 life points and you get to summon 2 new ones. So no matter what, if you lose this, you get 1,000 points and 2 new monsters. So potentially, if your enemy doesn't clear anything, you can summon a tooth tribute monster in the next turn and gain 2,000 life points also. So this is very, very strong and also again a deck thinner card. Okay, next card is UFO Turtle. When this card is sent to the graveyard as a result of battle, you may select one fire monster with an attack of 1,500 or less from your deck and special summon it on the field, face up attack position. No tribute is required for monsters of level 5 or more. So this is only a decent card, not really good, but all these cards that when they get destroyed you get a new monster were very strong back then, because you always have a monster left and this was worth so much, just maybe so you can summon guys like this, and having monsters is also good, and also again it thins out the deck, but this is not really played maybe in a fire deck, or again if you play a booster tournament this can be useful. Here we got the Arsenal Bug, 3 stars and 2,000. Now you may think this is too good to be true, and it is, because if there are no face-up insect-type monsters except this monster on your side of the field, both the attack and defense of this monster become 1,000 points. So in an insect deck, this is crazy. As long as you have an insect, you get a 3-star with 2k attack and defense. But this was so easily outplayable for an enemy, and it's only decent. Okay, next one, Dream Clown. When this card is changed from attack position to defense position, select and destroy one monster on your opponent's side of the field. Like, it's a good effect, but achieving this without the clown being destroyed first is pretty rare. Maybe if you can summon him with something like this, with a card that does the same, and your enemy can clear it, you can maybe, but usually this card would just get cleared away, so it's not the best, but again, a decent card if you're lucky enough so the enemy can do anything. Then we get the Rock Ghost. Don't know what this does. 1 second. Okay. So first of all, it has decent stats in the first place. 4-star, 1.7k attack. You can only summon him by removing 1 earth monster from your graveyard. And the good or coolest part about this is during your enemy's battle phase, this guy gets plus 300 attack. So in your turn, he has only 117, but in enemy turn he has 2000, which is cool because he can't beat it with a 1800 monster, which were pretty standard back then. So this was just a face-up monster on the field to the top of its owner's deck. At the same time, if there is a face-up warrior-type monster on your side of the field, you can return another face-up monster to its owner's hand. So this again is kind of like a slightly worse Penguin Soldier. Yeah, so I think this is enough said. And by the way, what I forgot to mention, you can also return your own monsters, so this can be useful in several ways. Like let's say you flipped your man-eater bug and you want him back for a new occasion. You can flip this and take your own man-eater bug back. So you could also use it like this. So cards like this were pretty good back then. That's why I included it to this pile. Sacred Crane, I don't remember this. When this card is special summoned, the controller of this card draws one card. Oh, okay, yeah, this is very, very conditional. Like, it's rare you get value from this. This is again a booster pack card, because not only has it not the best stats, you have to special summon this card to even have the effect, and the effect is only drawing one card. This maybe is good in a Exodia deck or something, if you want to thin out as much as possible, but this is very unplayed, or one of the worst ones we had. Granatoria, 4 stars, 1900, which was insane back then. When this monster is normal summoned, flip summoned, or special summoned successfully, increase your life points by 1000. When this card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you take 2000 points damage. So, at first this card is super good, but it can have a negative effect in the long run. So this is also something that was very good back then, but could also fuck you up bad. I just don't remember if, let's say I tribute this card. Does this count as destroyed or as tributed? Because if this doesn't count as destroyed, then this card is pretty good, because you can tribute it before it gets destroyed and don't lose the life points. But yeah, just the raw stats and the healing great card to put face down. If he attacks you with a 1800 monster, boom, he takes 200 damage, and nothing happens to you. So yeah guys, there you